Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that literally has the power to shift your entire paradigm, specifically regarding how we approach our daily lives. We're going to unpack a philosophy that completely redefines the whole concept of fulfillment. If you've ever felt, just exhausted by the daily grind, always trying to find your place, trying to find happiness, or trying to nail down your purpose, you're absolutely going to want to pay close attention to this.
Let me start by asking you a question, and I want you to really think about it for a second. Are you looking at the horizon for what's already in your heart? It's a gentle question, right? But man, is it striking. We spend so much of our time looking forward, looking outward, constantly scanning the distance for that next big thing that's finally going to make us feel complete. But what if we've been looking in the completely wrong direction this entire time? Let's take a little introspective journey today and find out.
And that brings us to this incredible quote from the 13th century poet Rumi. "We carry inside us the wonders we seek outside us." Just let that sink in for a second. It's such a beautifully simple statement, but it is an absolute disruptor to how most of us live our modern lives. It hits a little differently depending on where you're at when you hear it, but the core idea, that's entirely timeless. It literally alters your entire worldview in just 12 words.
So, part one, the endless search and our cultural conditioning.
To really grasp why Rumi's quote is such a game changer, we have to look at our shared human experience right now. We live in a culture that heavily conditions us to look outward for almost everything. I'm talking happiness, peace, purpose, love, validation, the whole shebang. We treat these fundamental human needs like buried treasure, completely convinced that we'll finally find them if we just move to a new city, land a better job, or hit some arbitrary milestone in the future. We end up spending decades on this endless search, treating our own inner necessities like prizes we have to hunt down on the outside.
Okay, let's dive into this. Part two, the illusion of fulfillment and flipping the framework.
This is where Rumi steps in and completely flips our cultural conditioning upside down. He looks at our frantic, exhausting search for these external milestones and calls it out for exactly what it is, an illusion. The source material refers to this brilliantly as the illusion of external fulfillment. The idea that a new job or a new relationship is going to magically implant peace into your soul, it's a mirage. We spend so much of our lives searching the world around us, completely missing the fact that we've had it totally backwards. Rumi shows us that the sheer exhaustion of this pursuit is, entirely unnecessary.
Which brings us to part three. You are the source. Let's break down these insights.
So how exactly does Rumi dismantle this exhausting worldview? He does it by completely changing how we view ourselves in relation to the universe. See, our culture tells us we're the vessel, basically empty containers walking around just waiting to be filled up by external experiences. But Rumi says, no way, you are the source. You're already whole. The awe, the wonder, the beauty you admire in the universe, those aren't just things you passively observe. They are qualities you are incredibly capable of feeling and generating entirely from within yourself. You aren't empty, you're the generator.
Let's move to the next idea and see how this builds, because this totally redefines the entire goal of personal growth. If you're the source, well then the journey is no longer about acquiring something you lack. It's not about endless searching anymore. Instead, the goal becomes uncovering what's already there. It is a massive shift in mindset, going from this frantic hunting to a state of quiet self-awareness. You don't need to add anything to yourself. You literally just need to reveal what's already present.
Moving on to part four, the mirror effect and recognizing true beauty.
Now you might be wondering, if everything is already inside us, why are we so drawn to beautiful things on the outside? Why do certain things stop us in our tracks and make us feel so deeply? Well, this perfectly illustrates the concept known as the projection of the self. The wonders we admire out in the world, like a breathtaking sunset, a deeply moving piece of art, or a profound act of kindness, they resonate with us for a very specific reason. They resonate because we have that exact same capacity inside ourselves. Think about it. You literally cannot recognize or appreciate beauty outside of yourself if you don't already hold the blueprint for it internally. So when you're marveling at a sunset, you're actually marveling at your own internal capacity for awe.
Finally, part 5, uncovering what is within, the ultimate takeaway.
As we tie all of this together, Rumi is really inviting us to realize that the frantic energy we spend searching the horizon is entirely misplaced. The absolutely crucial point here comes down to this beautiful metaphor. The world outside is a mirror, not a supply shop. You aren't going out into the world to buy or acquire the happiness, love, or validation you think you lack. You're going out into the world, and it is simply reflecting back to you the immense beauty and wonder that already exists inside you.
Everything you are desperately hunting for out there on the horizon is often sitting quietly right there in your own heart, just waiting for you to finally notice it.
I want to leave you with a final, slightly provocative thought. Does this perspective ring true for where you are right now? Do you view your life as a supply shop, constantly trying to acquire things to feel whole? Or are you ready to embrace that quiet self-awareness and start seeing the world as a mirror reflecting your own inner wonders? Take that question with you today and just see how it changes what you notice. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.